So I'm recording this session and I will upload it to you. I will provide the recording to you guys. Okay. Yeah. So good morning, everyone. So we welcome all of you to 360 degree. Today we are here to discuss about workshop on Linux with AWS. It's online training. Getting into the details. Let me introduce myself, guys. Okay. So myself. So my name is Hari Cheruku. I'm a AWS with DevOps solution architect, guys, and with 12 plus years of industry experience, and as a real time and a trainer. So currently working in senior DevOps engineer, guys, one of the company, and it is a product based company. So I started my career as a Linux engineer. Then I got into the opportunity to work on cloud engineer. Then I got the opportunity to work on the DevOps guys. And I have done so many certifications like ITL V3 certified, and I am a Red Hat certified system administrator, and I am a Red Hat certified Linux engineer, and I am a AWS certified solution architect, and I am a certified Kubernetes administrator, guys. Okay. So today what we will discuss, today we are discussing about the Linux and AWS guys. So today, so this workshop on Linux and AWS, what we will cover. So we will cover the all the Linux basic commands and AWS guys. So what is a cloud, why they are moving. So why the real the real time, why the investors are moving from data center to cloud. So we'll discuss today, guys. Okay. Yeah. So what gonna cover you? I will cover you on something like a Linux fundamentals and the AWS cloud guys. So today we'll discuss about Linux fundamentals and cloud. So before going to Linux, so what is Linux? Why Linux? So what is Linux and why Linux? So where it will be using in the real time the Linux and we'll discuss today. Before going to that, so what is OS guys? What is operating system? What is operating system? So like Linux is a OS. Linux is a operating system. Guys, does anyone knows what is operating system? Yeah. So what is operating system? I will discuss what is operating system. Yeah. So what is operating system? So for example, in your laptop, you are using a operating system, right, guys? In our laptop, you are using a operating system. So why we need to install on your mission, hardware mission? For example, your laptops are Dell, HP, Lenovo, right? So these all are the laptops, and in this laptop you installed the OS. So which OS you installed on your laptops, guys? Guys, speak out.
Windows.
Yeah, very good. So which OS you installed the on your
Windows.
Windows OS? So why you are installing Windows on your Dell, HP, Lenovo laptops, guys? So what this is, a Dell, HP, Lenovo, these all are the hardwares, right? So what this
Yes,
is?
sir.
This is a hardware. So what this is? A Dell, HP, Lenovo, this is a hardware. So why you install OS on this hardware, guys?
It acts as an interface.
Yes, very good. So to accessing the interface, guys. So why we need to install OS on your hardware?
To access some softwares.
To access the
Software.
very good,
Communicate between user and the system.
very good. Yeah, what this is? For example, this is a computer. So what this is? This is a computer and this is User is nothing but a you guys. So you are not directly communicating with the hardware. You are not directly communicating with the hardware. So you installed the OS. So then only you are able to communicate with the hardware. Why? So computer knows which language, guys? Hardware
Binary
knows
language.
which language?
Binary.
Yes, very good. So binary means
Zeros and ones.
very good.
Zeros and ones.
Zeros and ones. So computer knows only zeros and ones. So user knows you. User means you. You know which language? Guys,
High
you know which
level.
language? High level language. Very good. High level, high level language. Okay. So high level means, so for example, how you are communicating with your hardware. So you are communicating with our hardware, your computer through English only, right? Yeah. So here I will give you an example. Yeah. So what this is? This is Vamshi and this is Soumya. So Vamshi knows only Hindi language. Soumya knows only Telugu language. So Vamshi wants to convey a message to Soumya. Soumya. Vamshi so wants to convey a message to Soumya. Is it possible? Is it possible, guys? Vamshi
No.
knows only Hindi language and Soumya knows only Telugu language. Is it possible to communicate with each other?
No.
No, right? So they want to talk with each other. They want to convey a message to Soumya. Soumya want to convey a message to Vamshi. So how it will possible?
They should
So how
hire
it
a
will possible?
translator who knows both Hindi and Telugu.
Very good. Very good. So for example, who is this? So this is Hari. Who is this, guys? This is Hari. Hari knows both the languages. Hari knows both the languages. So both the languages. For example, Hari knows Hindi and Telugu. So Hari is a, who is Hari, guys? Hari is a mediator. Who is that? Hari is the mediator. Hari knows both the languages like Hindi and Telugu. So whatever the message wants to convey to Vamshi, right? Soumya inform to Hari and Hari translate from Telugu to Hindi and so convey it to the Vamshi. The same like vice versa. So whatever Vamshi wants to convey a message to Soumya, right? So he will inform to Hari. Hari translate into the Telugu and convey into the Soumya. Now you understood? So what is voice? Guys, it's a simple meaning of a voice. So what is a voice? Voice is a,
Mediator.
yes, very good. So what is a voice? Voice is a mediator between user and computer. Guys, understood? Just a simple meaning. So what is voice? So voice is nothing but it's a mediator between user and computer is nothing but a operating system. So operating system. Now you understood, right, guys? So Dell, HP, Lenovo knows only the binary language and you knows only English language. So you want to interact with this hardware. So how you can interact with this hardware? With the help of OS, because of OS knows both the languages. OS knows both the languages. Understood, guys? Yeah. So guys, which mobile are you using? Guys, which mobile are you using?
Android.
Which mobile are you using? Hardware. Which mobile hardware are you using? For example,
Realme.
which one? Realme, Oppo, OnePlus, whatever it may be, iPhone, whatever it may be, guys. Right? So how you are interacting with your hardware, guys? How you are interacting with this hardware? So hardware knows which language? Binary language, right? Hardware knows binary language. You knows only English language. So which OS is installed on this mobile, guys? Which OS?
Android.
Very good. Android OS is installed on this mobile. Android OS is installed on this mobile. And here, for example, iPhone. iOS iOS is installed on this iPhone. Guys, now you understood? So why OS? So if you want to interact with any hardware, definitely there will be a OS is installed. Then only we can interact it. Then only we can interact it. So guys, for example, so in our home, so you are using a Wi-Fi, right? For example, any Wi-Fi. So Wi-Fi is like Act, Beam, or Geo, right? So after installing your Wi-Fi, so you changed the Wi-Fi username and password, right? So this is a hardware. So how you are changing your username and password for your Wi-Fi address? Because of, so if you want to interact with any OS, definitely we need a, if you want to interact with any hardware, definitely we need a, guys, what we need?
OS.
OS. Is it may be a Linux OS, or it may be a Windows OS, whatever it may be, right? So guys, remember, from now, so if you are interacting with any hardware, definitely there will be a OS is installed. The OS is installed, right? Yep. So now you understood what is OS. OS is a mediator between computer and hardware, right? Guys, who is Vamshi? Yeah, guys. So types of OSs, guys. What is that? Types of OSs. So how many types of OSs we have, guys? We have a two types of OSs. So one is a single user operating system. The other one is a multi-user operating system, guys. What is that? Single user operating system and multi-user operating system. So what is this? This is a single user OS, and this is the multi multi-user OS, multi-user operating system. What is single user operating system? What is multi-user operating system, guys? So you are using a HP, Dell, Lenovo, right? So these all are the hardwares. So in your laptop, how many people are connecting at a time, guys? So how many people are interacting with this OS at a time? Only one person, right? Only one person can interact at a time with your OS. For example, Windows 11, Windows 10, Windows 10, right? So now you understood. So these all are the single user operating systems. So these all are the single user operating system. These operating systems can connect at a time only one person. That is nothing but a single user operating system. So multi-user operating system. So multi-user operating system is nothing but a multiple users can connect at a time. So what this OS, guys? The company's hardware company, HP, Dell created two types of hardwares. So one is for single user operating system, one is for single user operating system, and another one is for multi-user operating system. Multi-user operating system. For example, single user operating system. So what is the OS, guys? What is the hardware they are using? Single user operating system. For example, Dell Latitude, right? So Dell Latitude or something like whatever you are using. HP. These all are the this hardware is supported only for the single user operating system. So what are the single user operating systems, guys? So the single user operating systems are Windows 11, Windows 10, Windows 8, Windows 7, Windows Vista. These all are the single user operating systems, guys. So we can install the single user operating systems on the single user. hardware. So whatever the hardware they provided, right, it is for single user operating system. The same like as a Dell company created two types of hardwares, Dell Power Edge or 710 or something like. These all are the a multi-user operating system. Multi-user operating system. So for example, this is the a multi-user operating system. I will tell you guys why this is multi-user operating system. So when we use, right? So what this is? So this is a multi-user operating system. Yeah. So so who developed the Windows operating system, guys? Who developed? Who created? Does anyone knows who developed Windows operating system?
Microsoft.
Very good. Which company? Micro Microsoft company designed a single user operating system as well as multi-user operating system. So Windows created two types of operating systems. So one is for single user and another one is for multi-user. So one is for single user operating system, the other one is for multi-user operating system. So now you understood single user operating system, only one person can access this at a time, right? A multi-user operating system, multiple people can access this. So multiple people can access this server at a time, right? So multiple people can access this server at a time. What those OSs are. Now you understood the which hardware is used for the multi-user operating system and what are the operating systems we used for the multi-user operating systems, right? So the multi-user operating systems, Windows created two types of hardwares. One is for multi-user, one is for single user, and the other one is for multi-user. So what is multi-user? Windows Server 2016, Windows Server 2012, Windows Server 2008. Same like as a Linux OS. What is this, guys? So Linux OS is popular for multi-user operating system. What is this, guys? So Linux is popular for the multi-user operating system. Guys, now you understood where Linux is uses. So Linux is the multi-user operating system. So where we can install this Linux, we can install this Linux in the multi-user supported hardware. Multi-user supported hardware. Guys, so for example, so developers developing the code, right? So who are learning Java, Python, right? All are learning Java, Python. So something like you wrote the code for the application. So for example, the application is FB or Facebook or WhatsApp. For example, FB. Okay, developer develop that code. That code is FB code. That Facebook code. So that code will be deployed on the multi-user hardware, guys. The code will be deployed on the multi-user operating system, right? So why multi-user operating system? This hardware is supported to interact with the number of people. This hardware is supported with the to interact with the number of people. For example, fb.var or jar is deployed, right? So that fb.var or deployed. So how many people are interacting this website, guys? This interacting website, so many. How many people are interacting the Facebook website, WhatsApp website, guys? The end users. End user is nothing but a hours. End user is nothing but a hours. Guys, who is? That's right. So this fb.var or facebook.var. So where we deploy our code, guys, whatever the developer develop that code, right? That code will be deployed under the hardware, multi-user operating system under multi-user hardware. Guys, understood? So that Facebook will be deployed under the multiple multi-user operating system. That multi-user operating system is a Linux is the multi-user operating system. So why most of the people in the software company, why most of the people are using Linux OS, why they are not using the Windows OS. So why they are not using the Windows OS. So here we need to talk the points like GUI, CLI, open source and commercial. So what is GUI? What is CLI? Guys, Linux is a portable. Linux is a portable and CLI and highly secure. So highly secure. Guys, while people are using, these are the 3 points I will tell you. So portable is nothing but a why portable? Because of it's a CLI OS. CLI OS is nothing but a command line interface. Command line interface. For example, this is CMD. What this is? CMD is nothing but a command line interface. How you are interacting with this OS? How you are interacting with this OS? You are interacting with this DOS is the OS installed on the command prompt. This OS is installed through the command prompt only. dir something like cd documents. CD documents, you are going to documents, right? So this is the way, this is nothing but a CLI. CLI is nothing but a command line interface. How you are interacting with this Linux OS? Command line interface. So that's the reason. So it is a highly secure. It is a highly secure and portable. Portable means, so the installed OS is something like CLI only. Don't need the images. For example, if you want to install the Windows OS, we need a images because of minimize, maximize, all these, right? This is a GUI. So Windows is the GUI operating system. So Windows is the GUI means graphical user interface. So Linux is a CLI, command line interface. Why Linux is popular? Because of portable, CLI, secure and open source also. What is that? Open source. Guys, what is open source? Guys, what is open source? Does anyone knows? Java is a open source, right?
Anyone
Free
can.
to access.
Source code is free.
Sorry?
Everyone can access freely.
Free to
Yes,
install.
free of cost. So free of cost. So we have another point on open source. Source code also. Source code also available. What is source code, guys? So what is source code? So whatever the developer developed for the Windows operating system or Linux operating system, right? That code also freely available. That code also freely available. The developer developed that code, right? So for the Linux OS software, that code also freely available. Okay. So open source is nothing but a free of cost and source code also available. Java is a open source or a commercial, guys. Guys, Java is a open source or commercial?
Open source.
Yes, very good. Java is a open source. So open source means free of cost. So why we need to buy the Windows servers? Why we need to buy the Windows servers license? So Linux is giving the open source free of cost, right? So and it is providing the high security and CLI, right? So that's the reason everyone is using in the industry Linux. In the Linux, they are they are deploying their applications in the they are hosting their applications in the Linux mission only. So that is the reason everyone can learn the Linux, because of if you are a developer, if you are a tester, if you are a administrator, everyone can knows the Linux administrator, because of developer develop that code and deploy their code in the dev environment, right? They need to know how to just operate the commands, Linux commands. So that's the reason everyone can learn the Linux and the cloud, because of every days nowadays. So the industry is using cloud to deploy their applications. For example, this is the server, right? So where they are deploying the server? They are deploying this server in the cloud. For example, what the cloud? The cloud is AWS. Cloud is AWS. Not only AWS, we have a GCP, we have a Azure, we have a AWS. I will tell you guys. Okay. Now you understood. So Linux is the operating system. Linux is a multi-user operating system, and Linux will be installed under the multi-user hardware. The multi-user hardware, right? Yeah. So Windows is developed by the Microsoft. Who is developed Linux, guys? Who is developed Linux? Who invented, who created, who developed the Linux OS? Guys, who is this? I am unable to clear. Okay, good. Yeah. Guys, who developed the Linux OS? How Linux OS came into the picture? So does anyone knows who developed the Linux OS?
NS lizards.
Yep. Yeah. So Linus, who is this guys? Linus Torvald. So Linus Torvald in 1991, he studied in one of the university, and his mentor is asking to create a new OS, and he created a OS called as a Minix OS. What is this, guys? Minix OS based on the Unix, based on the Unix OS. Okay, so so Minix having some drawbacks. Minix having some drawbacks. What is that? So Minix having some drawbacks. Some drawbacks. He overcome those drawbacks and created a new OS. He created a new OS, and he is thinking to create or put the new name for this OS. Okay. He created a new OS, new OS, and he is thinking to put the new name for this OS. New name for this OS. And so how Linux OS came into the picture? So what is the his name, guys? Linus Torvald. Linus Torvald. So what is the first four letters from his name, guys? What is the first four letters from his name? Guys, speak out. So what is the first four letters his name?
LINU.
Linu. And so he created this OS from, so which operating system? He created this OS from the
X.
Unix operating system. Then he took the first four letters from his name and last letter from the Unix. Then Linux came into the picture. Linux came into the picture. Guys, now you understood how Linux OS came into picture?
Yes, sir.
Yes, right? Yeah. So now you understood. So he released as a open source. What is that? He released as a open source. So open source means free of cost and source code also available. So few of the companies took the source code. So few of the companies are took the source code. So created their own OSs called as a Linux, their own Linux OSs. For example, IBM company took that source code and created their own OS called as a AIX Linux OS. AX Linux OS. HP company took that source code and created their own voice called as a UX. Same like Sun Solaris. So Red Hat Inc. What is that, guys? Red Hat Inc. took that source code and created their own voice called as a Fedora, CentOS, Red Hat. Guys, so these three OSs created Red Hat Inc. What is this? These three OSs created Red Hat Inc. Red Hat Inc. Okay. So what is this? Fedora is for R&D purpose, CentOS is for open source, and Red Hat is for the commercial. Okay. So in this course, what we are learning something like a CentOS, CentOS guys, CentOS 9 or something like same like. So right. So Red Hat, Amazon, who is that? Amazon company also took that source code and created their own voice called as a Amazon Linux 2023 and Amazon Linux 2. Guys, the same Amazon took the source code. So the same copy of the Red Hat, the Amazon, if you know the CentOS or Red Hat or Fedora, the same OS, the copy, it's a copy or a cloning from the Red Hat INC. The same command, whatever the commands we are using in the CentOS, Red Hat, Fedora, the same commands we are using in the Linux, Amazon Linux, guys. Guys, understood? Yeah, this is the part of Linux. Now you understood how Linux came into the picture. Next, so what is cloud? Why cloud, guys? What is a cloud and why cloud? Guys, you understood? So this is I am a Red Hat certified engineer. I'm a Red Hat certified administrator. What is that? Red Hat INC provided these certifications. So what are the Linux OSs supported for the Red Hat? So Fedora, CentOS, Red Hat. So these are the copy from the Linux, Amazon Linux and Amazon Linux too. So when we launch the instance in the AWS, right? So we are using these OSs. These OSs also same guys, same OS as a Red Hat. Understood, guys? Yeah. So now you understood the Linux. I will tell you. So Linux, how we can install the Linux on the cloud. So I will start the Linux, guys. Yeah. So what exactly is cloud? What are the benefits of cloud? Why need to learn cloud? What cloud options we have? What skills needed to be a cloud job ready, guys? So what is that? What is exactly cloud, guys? So what is exactly cloud? Now you understood the Linux is a multi-user operating system, so where they are using, so in the real time, so the industry will be deployed their hosted their websites in the Linux OS only, hosted their OS in the Linux operating system only. Understood? So why we need a Linux operating system? So to communicate with the hardware, definitely we need a Linux operating system. So what operating system we are using? So we are installing here either CentOS or Amazon Linux. Amazon like Linux. Then you can deploy your application. Guys, I think so who are completed the Java full stack or Python full stack, you know how to deploy the application, right guys? So how to deploy the application? So for example, so this is the shit. Guys, 1 second, I'm taking this. So now you understood, right? Where the application is deployed, on the which server the application is deployed. The application is deployed under the multi-user operating system. The multi-user operating system. The companies are created. The hardware companies are created two types of hardwares. So one is a multi-user operating system. Other one is a single-user operating system. Single-user operating system is for, so single-user operating system for only one people can access at a time. But multi-user operating system, so multiple people are connecting, right? Our website need to connect the multiple people. So how many people are accessing our website? So our website accessing will be, yeah, 1 second, guys. I'm reading the comments. Yeah. So now you understood where our applications are deployed. Our applications are deployed under this. hardware under this hardware. Okay, our applications will be deployed under this hardware. Yeah. So which OS is we are installing, guys? We are installing the Amazon Linux or Amazon Linux. Look, for example, I'm installed the Amazon Linux OS. Right now we are interacting with this. How we are interacting with this hardware? The OS. So the OS is Amazon Linux 2 OS. None. So if you want to deploy a Java code, guys, if you want to deploy a Java code, if you want to deploy the Java code, what softwares we need, guys? So who are completed the Java course, guys? So is anyone done the project, the Java? For example, this code is developed, the code is developed through Java language, right? So I want to deploy this code in the server. So where we need to deploy, guys? We need to deploy our code in the web server, right? Web server. Guys, do you know what are the web server? What is a web server? Guys, what is a web server? Guys, anyone knows what is a website? Web server?
Server.
Hmm?
Server mission.
Web server, web server. I am asking about web server. So, for example, yeah, what is a website, guys? What is a website?
Collection of web pages.
Very good. So, what is that? So, collection of web pages. Collection of web pages. Right. What is a website? The collection of web pages is nothing but a website. Right. So, what is a website? For example, facebook.com. So, when you search in the what this is, so this is a Edge or Google Chrome or a Firefox or Opera. What these are, guys? These are the web browsers. What is a Google Chrome, guys? Google Chrome is a web browser, right? This is the web browser. In the web browser, you search the URL like https www.facebook.com. So this is the facebook.com website URL. Once you click the facebook.com website URL, so which page opens, guys? It opens the login page. So once you enter the login page, it will go to the, so here you see, if you have an account, you can click that account, right? You can provide the credentials and log into the account. If you don't have an account, you can click the create an account. Once you click the create an account, right, it will open the another web page. It will open the another web page. Once you provided the sign up, if you give the sign up, it will go to the another page. It will go to the another page and it will open the your it will open your profile page. Right, guys? Understood? Yes, so what is a web page? What is a website? Website is a collection of web pages. What is a web page, guys? What is a web page? Guys, what is web page?
The pages and
Some
server.
forms, images.
Sorry,
Storage.
storage.
Yeah.
Very good.
HTML page.
Hmm?
The pages sent by the server over the network.
Very good. So what is a web page? So web page is nothing but a, how you are creating this web page, guys? Collection of, guys, what is the collection of?
HTML elements. Sir.
What is this, guys? So how you are developing a web page? You are developing the web page. You are writing a code, right? These programs. If you write the number of programs for a web page, right? So collection of programs is nothing but a web page. If you want to develop a page, so we need to write the number of programs. Number of programs. So what is a program, guys? What is
Set
a
of
program?
instructions.
Sorry.
Set of instructions
Very good.
Set of
What is that?
instructions.
to
Set
perform
of.
tasks.
If
Set
you
of
want to write a program, so set of instructions is nothing but a program, right? So you are writing the programs. Why you are writing the programs, guys?
to
For creating
perform
the
some tasks. To
A
perform
task.
some
for creating the web pages. So for creating the web pages, the collection of web pages, they are combining with all the web pages and deployed as a website. So guys, now you understood. So what is website? Your Facebook is website, your WhatsApp is website. So whenever you are using where you are using in the browser either any website, the website is nothing but a collection of web pages. The collection of web pages is nothing but a website. So how the web page is created? The web page is created using the collection of programs. The collection of what is a program? Program is nothing but a set of instructions. Guys, here so we have a two types of websites, guys. What are those websites? A dynamic website and a static website. What is this, guys? Dynamic website and a static website. What is dynamic website and what is a static website? So dynamic website and a static website. What is a dynamic website and what is a static website?
it is different for different users.
Fixed contents.
Yes, very good.
Coming to
Who
the
is?
dynamic
Yes, yes,
content.
very good, very good. Fixed content. So nothing to be changed. So here, so we are involving only the application server. We are involving only the one server. The server is nothing but a app server, application server. So nothing to be changed, nothing to be added. So something like static website is nothing but a universities. So something like this website. So for example, 360-degree website or some website, they are only providing the content. So for the example, our institute location, so what the courses we are providing, what are the fees, they just created a pages. So we cannot log into that pages. We cannot store the images. We cannot upload the images. We cannot upload the videos. The just fixed content is nothing but a static website. So whenever a website is involved with the database and application, so that is nothing but a dynamic website. That is nothing but a dynamic website. For example, your Facebook, you are signing up your account, right? So wherever a database is involved, that are so those are the so DB server and app server. App server is nothing but a application server. So wherever your application code, right, HTML, the code will be deployed in this. The developer develop this code in this and the database. This is the database. Why the database? So the sign up button, right? So whatever you are providing the credentials. So whatever you are providing these credentials. So this is a web page, just a web page. This is the front end page. So this page will not store this data. Where we need to store this data? We need to store this data in the database, right? So whenever a application server and database server involved, those websites are the dynamic websites. For example, Facebook, WhatsApp, whatever the website, right? So those websites are the static. So static website means, for example, enadu.net or something like the Deccan Chronicle, whatever the pages, right? E-paper. They're providing the e-paper, right? That is nothing but we just reading that paper. We are not doing anything on this paper. That is nothing but a static website. So dynamic website is nothing but a Facebook. You are signing up your account and you are using your account and we are uploading your images, we are uploading your videos, right? Those images are is nothing but a those website is nothing but a dynamic website. Guys, understood? Yeah. So if you want, what is a website? So so what is a website? So website is nothing but so if you are hosting your site. So a website is a collection of plausibility accessible interlinked web pages that share in a single domain. So what is the domain name? Sorry. Guys, what is a website? So what is a website? A website is nothing but a website is one or more web pages and related content is identify a common domain name. What is the common domain name, guys? Facebook.com, Facebook.com, YouTube.com, Google.com. These all are the content, guys. So that are the content. So a website is a central location of a web pages that are related to accessible by visiting the website homepage using the browser. Guys, understood? A browser. So what is a web server, guys? A web server is a server. So we are deploying our code. Whatever the developer developed that code, right? That code will be hosted on the web server. What is that? That code will be deployed on the web server. Right? So where we are deploying our web server? So we are deploying our code in this web server. So right, Java supported which web servers, guys? Guys, so
JEE,
Java.
JRE,
Mhm.
JRE, JEE.
So Tomcat, JBoss, WebLogic. So these are the website. These are the web servers, right? So what is a web server? So a web server is a software application. What is a web server, guys? A web server is a software application. Software application or a hardware 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 device that stores process and and server server web component. So web content to users over the internet. So what is a web server, guys? A web server is a software application. A web server is a software application to deploy our code, process server web content to the users over the internet. So this, right, whatever the developer develop that code, right, that code will be deployed under the web server. Which web server? Java supports JBoss, Tomcat, WebLogic. These web servers supports. So if you want to, so you are writing a code in the Java language. So right, definitely, so we need to install the Java software because of your code is written in the Java, right? Java language. Definitely we need a Java software, right? So we want to deploy this code on the any of the web server. Which web server we want to use? So we will use the Tomcat Tomcat web server to deploy our application. Once you deploy the application, for example, facebook.com, fb.com, facebook.com. So a end user, whatever the end user will ping it in their client mission. Client mission is nothing but a single user operating system. In the single user operating system, so in the browser, so whatever the code deployed in the web server, so we will open it in only web browser. What is that? The web server content will be opened in the web browser only. What is that? A web browser is a Google Chrome or Opera or Firefox or Safari, right? So in the you click at something like https://facebook.com. So right. So once you click, so it will searches over the internet. It will search over the internet where every dot the software is that code is deployed. For example, in this server, so the code is deployed. It will get the pages. How it will search it? So the searches by using HTTPS protocol. Which protocol, guys? So HTTPS protocol. HTTPS is nothing but a hypertext transfer.
Transfer protocol.
Yeah. So hypertext transfer protocol. So whatever the text, which text we are transferring from here to here, hypertext. So whatever the text we are seeing in the browser, text is nothing but a hypertext. So whatever here we are seeing in the notepad, that is a normal text. So if you want to see the hypertext, so we need to see it in the only browser. We need to see it in the only browser. Guys, understood?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Right. So you understood the where our application will be deployed, how the application will be deployed. Right, guys? Yeah, I will show you here. So which people are using on the which platforms. For example, so developers are using where the developers are using, guys. Guys, so you are a Java developer, you are a Python developer, right? You are a .NET developer. So right. So you are a guys. 1 second. Hello, guys, sorry. So, so who are working in the which domains? For example, developer. So the what developer will do, guys? Guys, what developers roles in the software industry to develop the
To develop the
code?
code.
Yes, developer what they are doing? They are doing the developing the code. So they are doing the developing code for the website building, right? And so whatever the developer develop that code, right? They need to test it. They need to test it before going to end users, before going to production. So who will test the application, guys?
Manual tester or automation testers.
Very good. Manual tester or automation tester, whatever it is. So tester will test the application. Guys, what is the role of testers?
To test the
Application,
code.
application testing. So yeah, application testing. So whenever the developer develop that code, so where we need to deploy that code, guys? So this code will be deployed under this server, right? Guys, understood? So we need to deploy this server. We need to deploy this code on the server. Then only we can see it in the browsers. Then only we can see it in the browsers, right? So who are deploying this code into the web servers? So that the the Java people knows only how to develop the code, but so the Java developers doesn't know how to deploy this code. And testers, what testers are doing? Testers test the application only. They don't know how to deploy the code. So who will deploy the code? Operations engineer. Who is that? So operations engineer deploy the code into servers. So nowadays, who are the operation engineers, guys? Who are the operation engineers? Does anyone knows? Does anyone heard about DevOps? Guys, does anyone heard about the DevOps people? Yeah. So DevOps guys will deploy the application in the servers. So now you understood where the DevOps people are working, where the testing people are working, where the development people are working. Now you understood, right?
Yes, sir.
Guys, speak out, guys.
Yes, sir.
So I didn't understand, right? Are you able to following or not? Just you are saying yes or no, then I will continue. Okay, now you understood the application, where the application is deployed. Yeah. So if you want to deploy a dynamic website, so what are the servers we need, guys? So what are the servers we need? We need a app server as well as DB server, right?
DB, sir.
So DB is nothing but a database. Database software is nothing but a, for example, Oracle software or whatever it may be, right? So first, if you want to interact with the hardware, definitely we need a OS, right? So if you want to interact with this OS, definitely we need a OS. Yeah, OS Linux OS is installed. Then, so we need to install the corresponding softwares. We need to install the corresponding softwares. So for example, what these are, what these three are. These three are the environments. Guys, this is most important. Please listen carefully. If you are joining in any organization, so this is the structure they are following. Okay. So what this is a real-time environment. What are the real-time environments, guys? These are the real-time environments I'm discussing now. You will understand. What is that? So real-time environments. So these are the real-time environments. What these environments, guys? So for example, this is the dev environment, development env. So this is the development env. This is a QA env. QA environment. Env means environment. So this is the production environment. What this is? Production env. So what this is, guys? This is the app server. This is a DB server. What this is? This is a DB server. What this is? App server and DB server. So why we need an app server? To deploy the code. So why we need a DB server? To store the images, to store the information. So where they are storing their information in the application? Only on DB servers. Only on DB servers. Guys, now you understood? So what is a app server? What is a DB server? Right? Where there, whatever the developer develop that application, right? That application will be deployed under the app server. App server, that code, whatever the code. So this is the code deployed. So here also code deployed. So here also code deployed. Guys, yeah, this is the production application. So production is nothing but a live. The end users end users are ours. Our using the a website over the internet. That website is nothing but a that website is deployed under the production environment. Now you got the clarity. So this is the production environment, right? Now you got the clarity. So this is the production environment. So the people are using this production environment. The end users will use the production environment, right? The first code will be deployed under the development environment, then QA environment, then production environment. So why they are deploying in the development environment? So whatever the developer develop that code, right, need to test it is working or not. So where they are testing in the development environment. Okay. So once it is done, they are moving it to QA environment. QA environment means, so testers also need to verify before going to production because of something like, for example, so it is not verified before deploying in the production. For example, sign up button is not working. So sign up button is not working. I am an end user. I am using the Facebook account. So while doing the sign up button, the sign up button will not work. That sign up button is not working. The sign up button is not working. So that's the reason. So once the development is done, the code will be deployed under the QA environment, and the testers will test this environment. Once they will give the sign off, then only it will move it to the production environment. Because of, so end users using the application, so he is unable to sign up that button. So that is a bug, right? So that is a bug, and So need to resolve as soon as possible. That's the reason before deploying any application, they need to test it in the QA environment. They need to test it in the QA environment. Guys, so in the production environment, how many people are accessing? For example, 1 lakh people, 2 lakh people are accessing this website, right? So this is the resource. Resource is nothing but a configuration. So what is the configuration? So for example, RAM 128 GB, because of so many people are interacting through the HTTPS. So whenever you hit the URL, so that hit will come to the server. Server will take the CPU and RAM utilization for every hit, right? So for that we need a much resources. For example, RAM 128 GB, CPU is nothing but a processor. So processor 20 GB, something like HDD is nothing but a application logs. What is that? Application logs will be deployed under the, so application, what is application log? So for example, Hari user connected to the Facebook. So once he is logged in, from login to logout, what operations he is doing, so that operation will be created a log in the application logs, because of something like it is a website. A website is called it as a something like rummy website, a rummy circle or something like so that website you are doing a game, so you are playing the game with money. So sometimes the application, right, application is hang, so your game will quit from that, and you put the you use something like a 1,000 rupees bet for this game, but unfortunately the pages crashes and come out from the game. So right, you need to ask to the people, I provided 1,000 rupees for the game, but I quit immediately. I don't know how that happened, and then they will check the application log what he is doing. So is something related to for the application, they will return back the 1,000 rupees, or else something like he is doing false statement, so they will not refund the 1,000 rupees. For that purpose, they are using a application logs, guys. Understood? So from login to log out, so every application will write the logs. Guys, understood? So yeah, so this much resource of amount need for the production application, because of so many people are using this application. So for example, QA or a development environment, how many people are using for the development? Hardly, or something like a 3 or 4 people or 5 people or 6 people, right? So for example, testing purpose, they are using 3 people. Do we need this much resources for the QA and development environment? Right? So do we need this much resources, guys? So we don't need this much resources. This much resources is utilizing something like a, for example, 20K people or 40K people can sustain this application. But how many people are using? Only 3 people are using. We don't need this much amount of the resources, right? So a big innovative thought comes into the picture, and virtualization comes into the picture. So what is that, guys? Virtualization. So what is virtualization? You can install the virtualization software, and you can install the number of OSs based on our resources. We can install the number of OSs. Those OSs called as a virtual machines, right? You can install the number of OSs. In one server, we can use the development and environment. We can use the development and environment. Guys, so these many servers, right? So where they are keeping their servers? Where they are keeping? Initially they are keeping in the data center. Where, guys? Data centers. So data centers they are keeping in the environments, right? So what they are providing data center? Data centers are providing the IaaS. What is IaaS, guys? IaaS is nothing but a infrastructure as a service. What data center is providing? Data center is providing only infrastructure as a service. So data center is providing only IaaS infrastructure as a service. Infrastructure means hardware. So if you want to keep the servers, right, we need a hardware, and we need a network to connect the server, internet, and we need a power for our application will be, our server will be running on 24/7. So what they will provide? They will database provide the infrastructure, power, internet, everything. So what that service called as a IaaS, infrastructure as a service. Infrastructure as a service. Guys, now you understood? Yeah. So what they are providing? So data center. Guys, I'm starting the cloud. Data center. So data centers provide a, so IaaS, only infrastructure as a service. So for example, guys, so this is IaaS. What they are providing? They are providing IaaS, only infrastructure as a service. So for example, this environment is a development environment or QA environment. So production environment will be used by 24/7. Those are up and running from 24/7. But the development and QA environment, guys. So developers will work on how many hours? The testers will work on how many hours per a day? For example, 8 hours, right? So the development environment, we need 8 hours per day. But this environment is running in the 24/7. We don't need this much. We don't need this much time. Something like so 8 hours is enough. Is there any possibility? So if you are keeping these servers in the data center, if you are using or if you are not using, definitely we need to pay the money. What is that? If you are using it, if you are not using, but we are paying the money. So in the concept of a cost reduction, what is that? Every company is looking for the cost reduce, cost reduce for our application, right? So a big innovative thought comes into the picture. A cloud comes into the picture. What is that, guys? Guys, speak out. What is that?
Cloud.
Cloud comes into the picture. Cloud comes into the picture, right? So cloud also providing the, so why cloud is popular here? So the developers are using the developers and QA team is using the only 8 hours, right? So what is the slogan of the cloud? The slogan of the cloud is pay as you go. What is that, guys?
Pay as you go.
Or pay per use. So whenever you use the servers, whenever you use the infra or whenever you use the servers, that time only we can pay the money. What is that? That time only we can pay the money. So what is that? So for example, my development environment, so QA environment and my production environment will be deployed under the cloud. Deployed under the cloud. Okay. So here, so whenever a developer comes to the office, right? So that time he log into the console and he start the server and he will work on the server. So the QA team also, whenever he leaves from the office, right? At that time he will stop the server and he will go back to home. So that time, so the charges will taken only 8 hours. So the remaining 16 hours will not pay the money. So that is the slogan. That is the slogan: pay as you go or pay per use. So why AWS, why cloud is popular? Because of pay as you go model. Okay. So what is the advantage? The advantage is pay as you go. So here the disadvantage. What is the disadvantage of the data center? They are not using the pay per use model or pay as you go model. So whenever you keep the server, we need to pay the money, right? So this is the because. So the cloud comes into the picture again. So what infrastructure is providing? What data center is providing? IaaS. The same like as a cloud. Cloud also provided the, so cloud also provided the services. So if you provide the same service, so it will not popular. So apart from this, they provide a passive and a SaaS also. What is that, guys? PaaS and SaaS. Guys, understood? So what cloud service, what cloud provides? Cloud provides the IaaS, PaaS, SaaS. I will tell you, guys. I will tell you. So what is IaaS? What is PaaS? What is SaaS? You know what is IaaS? What is IaaS, guys? IaaS is nothing but a infrastructure as a service. Infrastructure is nothing but a servers. Yeah, here also they are providing the server. So what is this, guys? So AWS console. What this is? This is a console or a website. What is this? The cloud is a console or a website. Again, website. What is website, guys? How they are deploying their website? So collection of pages, collection of programs, collection of instructions. Again, application also created. So same website. The developer developed this website. And how we are getting these servers? This is a website only, right? Yeah, you get the clarity now. The server comes from the data center only. What is that, guys? The server comes from the data center only. Okay. What this is? This is a data center. This is the data center. The hardware comes from data center only. So every cloud provider having their own data centers, their own data centers. So for example, a website is created. Why cloud came, guys? So a thought. So Amazon company having an idea to market to create a application for application to create application for infrastructure also. What is their core strength to market? So we need to create the application for the infrastructure also. Yes, they created an application for the infrastructure. The same like as guys. So initially, so we don't have a bank applications, right? So we don't have a bank application. So what we are doing? So we are manually going to the bank and we are doing the transactions. So nowadays, every bank having created their own applications. So the name like as a insurance and hospitality. So they are also created applications to operate their operations in the cloud. Their operations in the website. So right, the same way. So the idea cloud came. So the idea into the market. So why we need to create a website for the infrastructure? So why we need to create a application for the infrastructure? That thought is nothing but a cloud. They created a application or a website and they link it to the data center. They link it to the data center. Right. So what is the advantage? Pay as you go and cloud services. What this is? Platform as a service, software as a service. What data center provides? Data center provides only infrastructure, right? So the developer develop that code. We need a operation engineer to build the infra, and we need a tester to test the application, right? So for example, so I have a thought. I have a thought like I want to create an application for the messaging. So I did the analysis and I am a developer. I develop the code. I want to deploy the code in the server, right? So if there is no cloud, we need to go to the data center, we need to hire the operation engineer, then we need to build the infra, then we need to deploy the application. But I don't want to deploy the application. I don't want I don't want to hire the operation engineer. So is there any service provided? So the service with the web servers installation. So infrastructure as a service means up to OS they will install it. Up to OS they will provide the infrastructure, OS installation. So after OS installation, I want to deploy this code. What we need? We need a platform. Platform is nothing but a, for example, softwares. So which softwares we need? Java and Tomcat, right? Tomcat installation. But developer doesn't know how to install the Java and Tomcat, right? This solution also. So platform as a service is nothing but they will provide the infra as well as the softwares as well as a software. Directly developer develop that deploy the code in the server. Easily deploy the server code in the server. They don't need a operation engineer. That is nothing but a platform as a service or software as a service. What is software as a service? I don't know anything. I don't know development. I don't know infra. So I want a application for my for my company. So you can go to the any one of the cloud. You can provide your requirements, and they will create a infra. They will create a platform as a service, and they will create a software also. So that is nothing but a software as a service. What these are? These are the cloud services. So cloud. Who developed? Who invented the cloud? Who are the cloud providers? Guys, does anyone knows who are the cloud providers? Guys, does anyone knows who are the cloud providers?
Data centers.
Hmm?
AWS, Azure.
Yeah, very good. Amazon company. Amazon company created their cloud, call it as a AWS. What is AWS? AWS is nothing but a Amazon Web Services. They are providing the services over the web is nothing but a Amazon Web Services. Okay. So Microsoft also. What is that?
Azure.
Microsoft created their own cloud, call it as a Azure. What is the
Azure.
cloud, guys? Azure. And Google company created their own cloud, call it as a, what is the cloud, guys? GCP. GCP. And Oracle company also created their own cloud, call it as a Oracle OCI. The same like as a IBM company took that source code and created their own called as a IBM cloud. The same like as a Alibaba also. What is that? Alibaba cloud. So this is the China cloud. What is that? So these all are the, so ECT and etc. We have number of clouds. These are the famous cloud providers. Guys, understood? So these are the cloud providers. Yeah, Salesforce also. So many cloud providers, but these are the top cloud providers. Okay, guys, now you understood. Yeah. So the environments we already discussed, right? Cloud development types. So the types of cloud developments are public cloud, private cloud,
Private cloud.
and hybrid cloud. What is private? What is public? What is hybrid? I will tell you guys. Yeah. So here, so whenever you launch the server, so whenever you use a server, that time only we can pay the money, right? We can pay the money. So after that, so after stopping the instances, the resources is nothing but a CPU and RAM will allocate to another server. For example, Vamshi stopped the instance and Hari started the instance. Then these resources will be attached to this server. So then the charges will start from here. So that's the reason the resources will be allocated to the another server. This is nothing but a public cloud. So public cloud is nothing but, so it will be available on publicly. So it will be available on publicly. Okay. I don't want to use my resources. I need a dedicated servers. Those resources also will not use the other people. That cloud is nothing but a private cloud. They will separately give it to the companies. What is hybrid? The combination of a public and private is nothing but a hybrid cloud. Hybrid cloud. Guys, understood? So cloud environment types, cloud services, cloud providers. So this is the core functionality of the cloud. Irrespective of any cloud, the cloud services, these cloud services will apply on all the cloud providers. All the cloud providers. So if you learn the any one of the cloud, it will be very easy to understand the other clouds also. It will be very easy to understand the other clouds also. So this is the core features, the cloud core features. So this will be applicable. This will be applicable on any cloud, public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud. These uses the cloud services uses this. The pay as you go uses this cloud providers. Now we understood the basic cloud core. So the basic cloud you understood. So if you learn any one of the cloud, it will be very easy to understand the other clouds also. So guys, understood? Yeah. So in this course, what we are learning, which cloud we are learning, guys?
AWS.
Very good. Now you understood. So in the AWS cloud, now you understood, right? In the AWS cloud, we so we installed the one OS, and in this OS, so which in this server, sorry, we took the one server. We took the one server. So for example, what this is? This is a AWS cloud, right? So we took one server. So the server is called as a VM. VM is nothing but a virtual machine, right? So in this virtual machine, what OS is installed, guys? Guys, what OS is installed?
Linux.
Yes, very good. So Linux OS is installed. Under the Linux OS, so we installed the softwares like Java and Tomcat, and we deployed the code. We deployed the code. So how to operate the Linux, I will show you. How to launch and how to operate the Linux, I will show you. So once we complete the cloud part. So now basic clouds is completed. So the Linux, what is Linux? How Linux OS came into the picture, what is OS we discussed, and the cloud basic cloud also we discussed. Understood? What exactly cloud you understood, right? Basic cloud. Basic cloud. So why they are moving from data center to cloud nowadays? Because of they are providing the IaaS SaaS pass, and they are providing the pay as you go. So for example, I started a startup company. I have a thought. I want to implement the messaging purpose website. So I'm thinking who will provide this support. So I don't. Whenever I want to use that time only I can pay, right? I launched the server. I deployed the code. I tested the code. Then I stopped the server. Then again I will do the R&D. Then again I will deploy. Again I will do the R&D. So finally, so I'm using the cloud because of we don't need a operation engineer, right? We don't need a infra. So just one click, it will provide the infra. Whenever we want, we can use it. So whenever we don't want, we can stop it. So that time only we can pay the money. So that is the reason the companies are moving from data center to initially they are deploying their application in the data center only. But why they are moving to cloud? So because of PaaS and SaaS. For example, so I started a company. The company is something like a steel or cement factory, whatever it may be, guys. So mine, I don't know how to develop the application. So I am a client. I want a software for my company, my industry. So directly I will connect to the any of the cloud provider. I will give them my requirements and they will provide the SaaS. So I want a SaaS I want to took the SaaS as a software because of I don't know how to build the code, how to deploy the code, how to write the code. Right? I took that SaaS. Everything will be provided by the cloud provider. If you took as a SaaS, they will provide the infra, they will provide the platform, they will provide the code, and they will deploy that. They will maintain everything with less cost. So that's the reason companies are moving from data center to cloud. Guys, now you understood the big picture of the cloud and Linux. Guys, understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, right? Very good. Very. So right. So now I will start Linux. So now you understood the what exactly cloud, right? Now you understood the what exactly cloud, what are the benefits of cloud, why we need to learn cloud, what cloud options we have, what skills needed to be cloud job ready, right? Guys understood about. So I will discuss. One second. Yeah, guys. So I have a guys. The course content will be provided in the GitHub account, guys. What is that? GitHub account. So what is my GitHub account? This is my GitHub account. GitHub.com. Harikrishna Cheruku 866 AWS hyphen DevOps material. So once you click this, right? Yeah, you see, guys. All the materials will be uploaded in this document on this GitHub account, guys. Okay. So what is this? So Linux material, you guys can download it from here, and AWS material. So this is the AWS material, guys. You guys can download it from here. The AWS material. Okay. So what is a cloud computing? Why we go for cloud computing? History and origins of a cloud computing, characteristics of cloud computing, types of cloud services, Software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service. You already know that platform as a service. So the cloud implementation types, conclusion. Okay, what is a cloud, guys? Services and solutions that are provided and delivered, consumed in a real time over the internet are called cloud services. Okay, what is a cloud computing? Cloud computing is a delivery model of computing services over the internet. It enables the real time development, deployment, and delivery broad range of products, services, and solutions. So, cloud computing is a style of computing where massively scalable IT related capabilities are provided as a service across the internet to a multiple external customers. What they are providing, guys? This is the cloud. They are providing the servers, so services, so databases, so storages, so everything. So computing and software resources that are delivered on demand as a service. Okay, guys, understood?
Sir, send that link in chat box.
Sorry?
Send that GitHub link in chat box.
Yeah, 1 second. Guys, this is most important. Yeah. So I pasted in the chat, guys. You guys can check it. Okay, so we already discussed lower cost, improved performance, reduced software cost, so instant software, so unlimited storage capacity, increased data reliability, device independence, so free from maintenance. Okay, so history and origins of a cloud computing. Cloud computing, when it will comes around of a 2006. So they launched Amazon launched the EC2 and S3. So supercomputers, mainframe launch. So this is the later 2008. The Google and the Azure will came into the picture. Yeah. So cloud service layers. You already know the so infrastructure as a service, software as platform as a service, and software as a service. I already told you, right, guys? In the software in infrastructure as a service, what they are providing? They are providing the servers, networking, storage, firewall, load balancer. Platform as a service, what they are providing? They are providing the runtime environment, Java, databases, the softwares. In the software as a service, they provide the application. They provide the softwares. So email services, industry application, business process, CRM, ERP, HR. So they are providing. Cloud service models are traditional IT. This is the data center. So IaaS is nothing but up to the OS they will provide. PaaS is nothing but up to runtime to software installation. SaaS is nothing but everything will be provided by the cloud. Now we understood the IaaS, SaaS, PaaS. So private to public to hybrid. So private is nothing but an internal cloud data centers agility. They own cloud, and external. So public is nothing but everyone uses the regional data centers. The both combination of a private and public is nothing but a hybrid. Guys, understood? Yeah, these are the cloud basics. So what is AWS? Benefits of using AWS, history and origins of AWS, AWS components, AWS services, AWS regions and availability zones, and AWS edge locations, AWS certifications. What is AWS? So AWS is a cloud provider. They are providing the cloud service. We already discussed, right? Yeah. So it's a cloud provider. They're providing the cloud, right? Yeah, Amazon Web Services are the collection of remote services. What remote services? I will tell you guys. Amazon Web Services are a collection of remote services offered by the Amazon.com over the internet, build and run an application. So if you want to build or if you want to run your application, what we need, guys? So we need a services. What they are providing, who are they are providing? AWS is providing. Not only AWS. So every cloud provider providing the services and solutions that are delivered on the over the internet to build and run the application. Amazon Web Services is a robust and scalable and affordable infrastructure for cloud computing. AWS provides a compute storage, and database services quickly, provisioning the IT services. What is that? Compute service is nothing but an instance. Storage is nothing but we need a storage and database and networking providers. So what is AWS? AWS is a set of cloud computing services. What is that, guys? AWS is a set of cloud computing services. AWS amazon.com/console. What is this, guys? How we can connect the AWS? Sign into console. Let me see. Yeah, console.aws.com. Okay, how you can connect the AWS? You can connect the AWS same like as a how you can sign up the Facebook or whatever it may be. Same like as a so you can sign up the AWS account. So once you sign up the create an AWS account. Yeah, I will tell you guys. I will tell you how to sign up this account. Okay. Yeah. How to log in once we sign up the right sign into a root user account. So for example, this is Blue J Tech. Guys, so if you want to learn more on AWS, so I have a YouTube channel, guys. You guys can subscribe this YouTube channel and you can watch the recordings, guys. That is the Blue J Technologies. Okay, so there is a playlist, guys. Mm, there is a playlist, guys. A 360-degree playlist is there, guys. You guys can watch that recording. So yeah, you see, guys. Uh, yeah. So this is the 360-degree playlist, guys. The playlist name is 360-degree Freshers Linux and AWS, guys. These are the recordings, guys. If you want to learn more, you guys can watch these recordings, guys. Understood? So what is the playlist? The playlist is 360 degrees Freshers AWS DevOps Batch 23. I am giving this in this, guys. Yeah. So please subscribe my channel and you will get the updates, guys. So I'm doing the basics of Linux, guys. If you want to go through the charts also, so I'm giving the basics of Linux commands. So whatever I will discuss here, right? I will discussing as a shorts also. So what is a command? What the command uses? So you guys can go through what is the virtualization, physical virtualization, what we discussed, right? The Linux file system hierarchy. So the commands I'm discussing over the shorts, guys. You guys can watch this playlist, guys, shorts. Okay, you will understand the just basic commands. Okay, 1 second, guys. I'm drinking the water. Yeah, what is this code, guys? The code is 347012. Guys, does anyone know what is MFA? Guys, does anyone know what is MFA? Multi-factor authentication. Yeah, guys. So this is the dashboard, guys. What this is? So this is the a dashboard of the AWS console. What this is? This is a dashboard of the AWS console. Who is, guys? Who is? Yeah. So this is the AWS console, guys. What they are providing the services and solutions that are delivered over the internet. Over the internet. What the services are they are providing? View all the services. You see, guys. So if a guy comes into the picture, a developer wants a server, they will provide the compute service. So containers, storage, database, migration and transfer, networking and content delivery, developer tools, customer and enablement, robotics, blockchain, satellite, quantum technology, management and governance, media purpose also, machine learning also they are developing, they are providing the services, analytics also they are providing. security and identity compliance, cloud financial management, front-end web mobile application integration, business applications, so end user computing, Internet of Things, gaming development. So these many services they are providing, guys. These many services they are providing. Guys, understood? So I logged in as a root user, guys. This is my AWS console. I will tell you how to create the AWS account. Okay, what the services. Yeah. So now you understood AWS is a set of cloud computing services. Set of cloud computing services. All these services. Okay. So AWS is a flexibility, availability, and scalability. So AWS is a flexibility, availability, and scalability. So scalability is nothing but a scale up and scale down. Elasticity. Right. Now you understood the elasticity. Elastic. So it will shrink and it will. So AWS is a elasticity, scale up or a scale down as needed. So we can get the resources instantly. AWS is a fully on-demand services. So benefits of using AWS, pay-per-use model, instant availability, reliable and redundant, security, more services accessed via simple and REST API. Okay, simple and REST API. What these guys? I will download this directly. Yeah, you guys can download it. So it will don't so you don't need a create the AWS GitHub account. You just hit this URL. The material will comes, guys. Okay. Yeah. So paper use, instant scalability, reliability, security, most API, SLA, availability, and support. Okay. History also origin, you know. Yeah, here you see the big picture of the AWS computing platform. So AWS is a global infrastructure. So what they are having, they are availability zones, regions, and edge locations. So what they are the foundation services. They started with the foundation services. So foundation is nothing but a compute and storage, database, networking. Right? We need a server. We need a storage to copy the logs, database for uploading and downloading the leaders, networking first, so to connect the web servers, right? So application platform, content distribution, messaging, parallel processing, libraries, monitoring, deployment, identity, and administration. The big picture of the AWS is a global infrastructure. So foundation service, application service, and management service. So these services they are providing. The compute service is nothing but a EC2, Amazon S3, Amazon EBS, Glacier, and RDS, DynamoDB, SimpleDB, Elastic. These are for the databases, networking, storage, and compute. Okay, so these are the big picture of AWS. So EC2 services. Amazon provides a various types of services below EC2. EC2 is a virtual private server. Virtual private server is nothing but a uh, mm, so this is the guys. This is the server is nothing but a virtual private server. In AWS, we call it as a instance. A server is nothing but a instance, guys. Have you understood? A server is nothing but a instance. So what they are providing? They are providing the cloud storage. Cloud storage is nothing but a storage. RDS, relational databases, Route 53, DNS, CloudFront, Glacier, DynamoDB, Elastic Cache. So these all are the services. Regions. AWS regions are completely isolated from each other and are in the different parts of world. And AWS regions is a collection of data centers and availability zones. Each region has a set of number of availability zones. All agents availability zones in the region connected by a high bandwidth. Cost vary from region to region. Default region is US East. You will not understand. I will tell you again. No worries. Okay. Edge locations. For example, the cost, the compute cost, the server cost is cheaper than the India region. So I connected to US region. Then I launched the EC2 instance. I deployed my application in that region. But my application, my website is used only the India people. Okay, our application is specifically used for the India people. So whenever we hit from the India to US, so it's coming from over the network, right? Definitely there will be a lagging. So because of it's far away from US, so it's a far away from India, right? So we need to keep it in India, any one of the server, and first time it will go to that yeah, US. then that copy into the India servers. So the second time when we hit the website, it transfer to the India only. Okay, that is nothing but edge locations. So certifications, AWS Certified Solution Architect Associative and AWS Certified Developer Associative, AWS Certified Sysadmin Administrator Professional level, AWS Certified Solution Architect Professional, AWS Certified DevOps Engineer Professionals. So I am a AWS Certified Solution Architect, guys. I am a Yes, understood. I am AWS Certified Solution Architect Associative. Understood, guys. And I am a certified Kubernetes administrator. Kubernetes, I think you don't know. So nowadays, the application will be deployed under the microservices are microservice based applications. So before they are using the monolithic based, nowadays we are using the microservice based. Guys, you can ask your trainer. So what is the difference between microservices and monolithic? Okay. So that is a vast. If you want to tell that monolithic and microservice, it will take another half an hour. Okay, you guys can ask your trainer to what is monolithic application or what is microservice application. What is the difference between monolithic and microservice applications? You guys can ask your trainer. Okay. So introduction to AWS EC2 instance. First, I want to how to sign up the AWS account. How to sign up the AWS account, guys? So in the AWS account creation, step by step view. So for creation of a AWS account, we need a debit card or a credit card. So it will credit 2 rupees from your account. We need a credit card or a debit card for creating the AWS account, guys. So AWS account creation process. So you can log into the portal.awsamazon.com slash so using this website console page URL, then enter email and account name, whatever you want. So then go to the mail account and verification code and paste it here. It will asking the verification code. This is the step 2. Step 3, choose the personal radio button option and fill your details. So it is asking the details, whatever the details you want to fill, you guys can fill it. So use a credit card or a debit card details to fill. It will charge 2 rupees for the verification. Okay. Then enter your contact details for the verification. So enter verification codes which you got your mobile number. Choose the free plan. So what is that, guys? Amazon provides a free tier account. Which account, guys? Free tier account for the 12 months. Free tier account is used for 12 months for the students. So whatever the students want to learn AWS, you guys can create a account, a free tier account, and launch their free tier account and use the free tier usage for 12 months, guys. Okay. So once you completed, this is the congratulations message. Enter a login to the AWS console. You will go to the console, guys. So if you have any doubts, you guys can reach out to cheruku.harikrishna@gmail.com or my mobile number 9667217976. If you're having any doubts, so regarding this, I will clarify it. Okay. Yeah, now you understood the how to how to create the AWS account. So what is this introduction to AWS EC2 instance? So what is this? This is a AWS. So I logged into the AWS. I want a server. I want a server to deploy the application. So how you can install the Linux? How you can create the instance in AWS? I will show you step by step, guys. So introduction to AWS, guys. So this is the material. AWS installation, account creation. This is account creation. EC2 instance creation, step by step, I think. Yeah. So after login to the AWS account, select the AWS region based on your location on top to the, before that, I want to tell something, right? Yeah. Mm, 1 second. Yeah. So AWS, Amazon Web Service is a cloud provider. They provide you with the servers and services that you can use it on demand and scale easily. AWS has revolutionized IT over the time. The power of some of the biggest websites in the world. So in the AWS cloud, so what are the websites they deployed? They deployed the Amazon.com and Netflix. So the both websites are deployed in the Amazon cloud only. Okay. Services. I already show you services, right? Amazon EC2, ECR, ECS, Lambda, IAM, auto scaling, S3, EC2. So networking, VPC, DynamoDB, RDBS, so these everything, the services they created and launched. So AWS Cloud History. In 2002, internally launched. 2003, Amazon Infrastructure is the one of their core strength to idea market. 2004, launched publicly with SQS. 2006, relaunched the publicly with SQS, S3 and EC2. So 2007, launched in Europe. What are the big website? What are the companies they are using the AWS cloud? Dropbox, Airbnb, Netflix, NASA. They are using the NASA is a space, right? They are also using the AWS cloud. So AWS cloud number fact. What are the leaders? AWS, Amazon Web Service is the leader. So Microsoft, Google. So these all are the leaders, guys. Here's one second. So it's right. These are the number facts. Yeah, AWS cloud use cases. So which companies are using the AWS and what are the services they are using? McDonald's, 21st Century, Fox, Activision, Netflix, they are using the AWS. AWS enables you to build sophisticated, scalable applications applicable to a diverse set of instructions. Use cases include IT, enterprise, backup, storage, big data analytics, website hosting, mobile, social apps, gaming. Everywhere they are using, guys. So AWS is a cloud infrastructure. AWS regions, availability zones, AWS data centers, edge locations, points of presence. So these all are the, it's a AWS is the idea market. Everywhere they are using their cloud infra, right? So those are North Virginia, London, Ireland, Spain, Milan, Paris, Frankfurt, Scotland, Ohio, North Virginia, Canada, California. They are using, so every country they are using AWS, and so every country having their data centers, they connect to the global AWS infrastructure. Okay, regions, availability zones, AWS data centers, edge locations, and points of presence. Okay, so what are the AWS regions? AWS has a regions all around the world. Names can be US East 1, US West 2, Asia. A region is a cluster of data center. Cluster of data center is nothing but a group of data centers. Group of is nothing but a number of data centers. So most AWS services are region scope. The region should be US East, North Virginia. We call it as US East 1, US East 2, US East 3, Ohio. The regions, guys. So the regions around the globe is, you already know the APAC, EMEA, EMER. EMER is nothing but a American region. APAC is nothing but a Asia Pacific region. EMEA is nothing but a Europe and Middle East region. Right? Yeah. How to choose the AWS region? Compliance with the data governance and the legal requirement. Data never leaves a region without your explicit permission. Proximity to customer, reduce the latency. Available services within a region. A new services and new features are not available in every region. Pricing varies region to region and transparent to this services pricing. So availability zones, these are the availability zones, guys. Every availability zone is a discrete data centers. Okay. AWS points I already discussed. Yeah, EC2 instance creation, guys. EC2 instance is nothing but a servers. We want to launch the EC2 instance. So what we need, so we need to select the region. So then AP Southeast Mumbai area I selected. So then I want to launch a instance. Launch a instance is nothing but a, I will show you directly, guys. So what is the service, guys? The service is EC2. What is nothing but EC2 is nothing but a elastic compute cloud. What is that, guys? EC2 is nothing but a ECC is nothing but EC2. EC2 is nothing but a elastic compute cloud. Have you understood? So means they are providing the instances to deploy our application. Guys, this is most important, guys. Okay, so this is most important. How you can launch the AWS EC2 instance and how you can deploy your code. Either whatever it may be, guys. It is a development environment, it is a dev or a QA or production, right? The same way we can launch the instance and deploy the application. Yeah. What is the service? We can search it in the EC2. What is the service, guys? EC2 service. Okay. Yeah. So EC2 instances. In the instances, you can check it. So what are the instances are running? Opera. I want to terminate this voice. Guys, how you can terminate the instance? How can it terminate is nothing but I want to delete the instance in the cloud. How you can delete, how you can remove? You can use the terminate option, guys. You can use the terminate. It will delete the instance on our AWS cloud. Okay, you see? So the state in shutting down. Right. I want to launch a EC2 instance, guys. So EC2 instance is nothing but a virtual machine. Virtual is nothing but a server. So click on the launch instances. Yeah. So name of the instances, for example, 360-degree EC2. Right. So you can choose the AMI. AMI is nothing but a Amazon mission image. Amazon mission image is nothing but it's a template, OS template. It's already installed OS template. So what you can take the free tier eligible because of you are a student. You took the a free tier account for 1 year. Whatever the free tier, right? You guys can use this free tier account, free tier eligible only. For example, I am taking the Amazon Linux. I already told you, right? So the same like as a Red Hat, CentOS, Fedora, you can take the Amazon Linux. Okay. And the instance type. What is instance type? Instance type is based on the CPU and RAM. I don't want a much because of I am using for the development environment. Only two people are using or three people are using for the development environment, right? I don't want much resources. This instance type is so this instance type is related to CPU and memory. T2 micro, T2 nano, T2 medium, T2 small, T2 large. So this is A1C large, A13C, C4 large, C4X large. These are based on the CPU and RAM. If you want a 192 GB of a RAM or 196 CPU, your application is very huge application. For example, banking transaction application. So most of the people are using this website. We need to give this much resources amount of the server. So I am using for only development. I use only for the free tier eligible. T2 micro is the free tier eligible for students. I will tell you. So free tier AWS. Yes, guys. Free tier AWS free tier. So there are free tiers. Yeah, so free trailers and 12 months free, guys. You are using the 12 months. There is a free tier offers only available to new AWS customers and are available for 12 months. Following following your AWS sign up date, when your 12 months free usage term expires, or if your application use exceeds the tier, simply pay standard pay as you go service rates. Okay. So what they are providing in the free tier eligible 750 hours of EC2, so 5 GB of S3, 750 hours of RDS, so Amazon DynamoDB 2.25 GB, so SageMaker 1 million Lambda unlimited Q developer, 750 hours of open sub service, millions of 1 million of Amazon SNS, simple network service. Okay. This is the free tier eligible account. You are only eligible for this. You are only eligible for this, guys. Okay. Yeah. Now I'm going to AWS. Yeah. So yes, so you want to connect the server, we need a key pair. What is the key pair we need, guys? If you want to create a key pair, just click the create a key pair and 360-degree key pair. I'm creating a 360-degree key pair or whatever it may be, guys. The key pair is RSA and PEM key for connecting the AWS, guys. For connecting the AWS Linux account, we need a key pair. Okay, so network. So they created the network AWS EC2 instance diagram. Guys, who is this, guys? So for example, so this is your EC2 instance. What this is? This is AWS. Guys, you guys can see here. So this is your AWS cloud. What this is? This is your AWS cloud. So if you took a company taking the AWS account, they will create a VPC. So VPC is nothing but a virtual private cloud. Virtual private cloud means we need a separate network for our company. So that is nothing but a VPC. That is nothing but a VPC, right? After that VPC, I want to launch the instance. So once you launch the instance, right, EC2 instance, that instance will be created under this VPC. So what VPC? They are providing the subnets, private subnet and public subnets, private subnets and public subnets. Yeah, in the region, you created the AWS EC2 instance. So they are created a VPC virtual private cloud. Okay. So they created a virtual private cloud. So for example, guys, so this is the US East 1 region. In the US East 1 region, there is a VPC. In the VPC, you created a instances. It is EC2 instances. Guys, understood? Yeah, this is the big picture, guys. Superb. So this is the region, guys. In the region, there is a availability zone. Every availability zone, there is a VPC, guys, virtual private cloud. In the virtual private cloud, so we can create the EC2 instance. EC2 instance under a databases, S3. This is the internet gateway. So internet gateway is nothing but a, so we, our application is deployed under this EC2 instance. We need to connect. We need a internet gateway. Right? Everything is a services. Guys, now you understood? So what is the VPC? Yes, very good. You understood the select the VPC. VPC is nothing but a virtual private cloud. The security group. Security group is nothing but a which port I want to allow it. So if you allow all port, hackers will attack this website and so crash this website, right? No one cannot work enter into this. So we will provide the particular port number to enable. So EBS volume, guys, the storage. So where we need to install our OS. We need to install our OS in the EBS volume. EBS is nothing but elastic block storage. This storage is a 30 GB of a space. In this 30 GB of a space, it's a free tier eligible for only 30 GB. So how many servers we will install? We will install 8 3 jars. So 24. Only 3 servers, 3 EC2 instances we can launch. 3 EC2 instances we can launch. So these are the options we need to select for launching the EC2 instance. So these are the instances. Guys, understood? So then launch instance. Guys, this is the most important. So if you want to sustain in your industry, software industry, definitely you need to learn the any one of the cloud, guys. Okay. Yeah. Successfully initiated launch EC2 instance. Whenever you create the instance or a server, so it will be created as a unique identification number. What this is? So this is a unique identification number, guys. Understood? Yeah. So this is your server. This server is running. You took the instance type is nothing but a RAM and CPU. So status check is nothing but initialization. So availability zone US East 1. Where it created? You created the server in the which region? North Virginia region. Okay. So this is the public IP and private IP and the key pair and which platform you install. You install the Windows or in Linux or whatever it may be. Okay. Yeah. You need to select the instance. It will give the details. Instance ID, IP address, private IP address, subnet, public DNS, everything. Security, network, so which we took the 8 GB of storage, right? That storage also we'll see the network. So, right, storage, networking, storage, 8 GB of storage. These are the details of the instance. Instances, AMI, volumes, security groups, load balancers, so target groups, so auto scaling groups. These all are the instance attributes. If you want to launch instance, launch the attribute instance, guys. So our Linux OS is installed on as a instance. So how you can connect with this AWS instance? Okay, once you refresh it, yeah, once you refresh it, so it's still initializing. So we can connect, guys. So how we can connect? How we can stop the EC2 instance? Select the service, and go to the instance state. You can see the stop instance, start instance, reboot instance, terminate the instances. So what you can do, you can stop the instance, you can reboot the instance, you can terminate the instance. If it is a stop, that start will be enabled. Okay. So instance state, actions, these are the settings, and connect. How we can connect this server? We can connect this server in three ways, guys. One is EC2 instance connect, the other one is session manager and SSH connect. So EC2 instance connect is nothing but a cloud connect. Just connect. Yeah, so the Linux server is installed and I am connecting to the Linux server. Guys, now I am able to connect the Linux server. How you can do the operations, pwd, mkdir, cd, right? So this is the CLI Linux OS. Which Linux OS is installed? /etc os-release. You see, guys, Amazon Linux 2. Amazon Linux 2 OS is installed. Understood? Yeah. So you can connect. This is the way, web way. Yeah. So we need a username password, right? So when we launch the Amazon Linux, what is the default username? The default username is, yeah, the default username is EC2 user. So enter the username defined in the AMI user to launch the instance. Okay. So what is the username? EC2 is the username. So in the Cloud Connect, it will not ask the password. So if you want to connect the SSH client, you want to connect through PuTTY, you want to connect through PuTTY. So what it is asking? It is asking the password. So what is the IP address of the server? What is the IP address, guys? Or else you can see here the examples of the DNS. This is the DNS name. Okay. So this is the DNS name. You can connect to this DNS name and go to the SSH auth in the auth credentials. So we already downloaded the authentication, right? Downloads. What is that? 360-degree key paste. This is the password for authenticate our web server. This is the password for authenticate our web server. Accept. Yeah, it is asking the username password. How to change the font size? Go to the settings. In the settings, you can click the appearance. In the appearance, you can go to the change. In the change, you can click the font size. Yeah, now it increase it, right? Now you are able to see. EC2 user is the EC2-user is the, okay, this is the root user. I'm connecting the server in my Windows laptop. So guys understood? Guys, who is writing, guys? What is the disturbance? Okay, this is the Linux OS is installed. Which OS is installed? cat/etc OS hyphen release. What is that? Amazon Linux 2 is installed. Amazon Linux 2 is installed. Again, I'm going to my GitHub, guys. Here, I uploaded the Linux material. This is the Linux material, guys. You guys can download this Linux material from here. Or you guys, if you have a GitHub account, you guys can fork my AWS DevOps. So then it will come, guys. This is the Linux material, guys. You guys can go through this material. Okay. Yeah. So Linux is installed. Yeah, the commands. So what are the commands we use? How you can interact with this voice? So we can interact with this voice through commands only. What are the commands we use? Guys, you logged in as a EC2 user, right? Who am I? What is that? Who am I? It will display. Who am I? Yeah. Who am I? I logged in as a root user. If you want to go from another example, you logged in as a EC2 user, guys. Who am I? It will display the EC2 user. EC2 user. CLEAR, clear is the clear screen, guys. Or if you the beauty of the Linux history command, guys. So your colleagues, whatever the colleagues who executed the commands, you can see it by using the history command. What are the commands we executed in this terminal? It will display the by using the history. Okay. Yeah. So who am I means who is logged in, and who are logged in. Just how many users? Two EC2 users are logged in. One from web console, one from web console. So other one is for putty. Other one with putty. That's the reason it is showing. It is showing these two. So I'll switch to root user. Let's see who. You see ECT user. Who am I? Yeah, I logged in as a root user. Before it is a EC2 user. Now you understood, guys. Yeah, I will tell you the other one. Linux architecture, guys. This is hardware, this is kernel, and this is shell, and this is applications you are connected with. So what this is, guys? This is the Linux architecture. What is this? So this is the Linux architecture. So what is the Linux architecture, guys? The Linux architecture. So you already know, right? This is Git. This is cloud, right? Yeah, no worries. I will tell you. What this is, guys? This is the hardware. What this hardware? Hardware is a Dell PowerEdge R710. So this is the hardware. In the hardware, they installed the kernel. What is that? Kernel. So in that kernel, top of with that, they will provide the shell. So in the shell, we are executing the vi command, pwd command, all the commands, applications. So applications, right? This is the hardware. First, it is a hardware. So kernel is the heart of the OS. How we can communicate with the hardware? The kernel is communicating with the hardware, and will provide the shell prompt. What is that? A shell prompt. CLA is nothing but a command line. So command line interface is nothing but a shell. What is that? Shell. Shell. Right. Which shell we are using? So in the Linux environment, which shell we are using? Bash. Which shell we are using? Bash shell we are using. So echo dollar shell. What is that, guys? Echo dollar shell. So which shell we are using? Bash shell we are using. We are using the bash shell, guys. Okay. So what are the commands we are executing? One second, guys. I will open the material. Yeah. So what are the commands? So you logged in as a root so EC2 user, right? How you can switch from EC2 user to normal user? What is root user? What is EC2 user? I will tell you now. Yeah, guys, Linux, what is so it's a Linux that architecture hardware. On top of the hardware, there is a kernel. On top of the kernel, there is a shell prompt. What are we can execute the so user one multi-user guide. You can execute applications, compilers, the commands, everything will be executed wise. Okay. So what is a So Linux introduction, What is a kernel? Kernel is a central component of the operating system. It acts as an interface between the user and application to the hardware. Okay, will not give deep dive. So is Linux is a kernel or an operating system? There is a difference between kernel and OS. Kernel is a heart of the OS which manages the core feature of an OS, while if some useful applications and utilities are added over the kernel. So there are complete package become as an OS. There are a complete become as an OS. It can easily be said that operating system consists of kernel space and user space. What is monolithic and microkernel? So what is a shell, guys? A shell is a software program that allows. What is a shell? This is a shell. What this is? This is a shell. So shell is a software program that allows you to interact and access a computer system. User can enter the commands in the shell prompt, which will be executed by the shell. Since the only means of communication through shell is nothing but a text, is known as a command line interface. Guys, now you understood what is command line interface? So whatever the communication through shell is text only, that is nothing but a CLI. So shell is a command interpreter and the server uses a interface for the Linux kernel. Shells are types of shell, SH shell, bash shell, C shell, TCS shell, K shell. But in the Linux, they use the bash shell. Linux, they uses the bash shell. Guys, so this Linux file system hierarchy, when we install the Linux, right, the default file system will be created. The default file structure will be bin, opt, boot, root, def, sbin, etc, srv, home, tempo, user, media, mnt, var. So for every directory in Linux, we call it as a directory. Folder is nothing but a directory in Linux, guys. You guys remember, a folder is nothing but a directory in the Linux. So how you can shut down? You can shut down by using init 0. Init 6 is nothing but a reboot, guys. Init 0 is nothing but a shutdown. Init 6 is nothing but a reboot. Okay. Yeah. So bin and sbin. There are two types of commands, guys. Bin and sbin commands. Bin. There are two types of users. One is a root user. The other one is the normal user. So the root user is created while installing the OS. Root user is the super user. Root user is the administrator user. Administrator user. So for example, Rakesh or Vamshi is related to the 360 degrees. So they are the super users, they are the root users, they can do anything in the institute, right? But you are a student, so what you will do? So you will go to the class, something like a batch, whatever the batch, you will only eligible for to go to that class and listen the classes and you will come back. But you don't have all the permissions to do all the things in the institute. But who are having the permissions, for example, Vamshi, Shiva, Rakesh. So these are the super users in the institute. They are doing anything. They're doing the anything, right? It's like as a super user. So a super user can do bin and sbin commands. A normal user, you are executing some certain level of permissions. That is a bin command. So what is this, guys? Whenever you logged into, right, it comes you root at the rate localhost 12 hash. So you logged in, this is the logged in username, or this is the mission name, and the 12 is a present working directory. Hash is nothing but a user privileged mode. So Hari is the normal user. Root is the super user. So root having the hash privilege, root can do anything. So normal user having the dollar permission, that is how Hari user can do some certain level of permissions. Yeah, guys, who is nothing but who is logged in, who is nothing but how many users are connected. And so how you can check it? So if it is a file or a directory, if it is a file or directory in the Linux machine, guys. So hyphen, the first letter is hyphen is nothing but a file. The first letter is D is nothing but a directory. The first letter L is nothing but a link. How you can find out if it's a file or a directory or a link file? I will tell you, guys. Okay. Yeah, guys, I will teach you the commands one by one. Speed. Yeah. So now you understood. So cat slash etc os hyphen release. Os hyphen release. So OF hyphen release is nothing but a you will see the which flavor of the Linux OS is installed, which version of the Linux is installed. So who am I? Who is logged in? Who means how many users are logged in? Uname hyphen A. So uname hyphen A is nothing but a the kernel version. What is the kernel? Is the kernel is the mediator between shell and hardware, right? Which kernel version is installed on your laptop? You can use uname hyphen A or uname hyphen R. So uname-r is nothing but it will provide only version. Uname- is nothing but architecture also. It will give the architecture also. It will provide the architecture also. Understood? Yeah. So what is this, guys? 12th. What is this? 12th is nothing but a present working directory. So where you are under root. Why you logged in as a normal, you logged in as a root user. Root user's home directory is slash home slash root. Right. This is the home directory is root user. Root directory. Home directory is root user home directory. Okay. PWD is nothing but a present working day where you are, in which directory you are. Okay. Next, LS. LS is nothing but a CD slash etc. I will tell you. So LS is nothing but a list of files and directories. It will list the files and directories. But I want to see what is a file, what is a directory in the list. Guys, are you able to figure out what is a file and what is a directory in here? No, I don't know what is a file, what is a directory. How you can check it? You can check it by using ll or ls-lrt command. ls-lrt or ll is nothing but a long list. The long list, it will display the everything. It will display everything. What this is the permissions, and so D is nothing but a directory. The starting letter D is nothing but a directory. This is the directory. Hyphen is a file. L is a link file. What is that? L is a link file. You see, these are the link files, directories, and files. How you can check it? You can check it by using the ll command. Yeah. So now I want to go to that directory. How you can go to the directory? So where you are under the root directory. I want to go to the var directory. How you can go to cd? Cd is nothing but a change directory. Change cd var. Okay, ls. Okay, so change directory, and I want to create a directory. Directory is nothing but a folder. How you can create? By command only. Mkdir directory name 360 degree. So it's created the 360 degree. How you can go to the directory? CD change directory 360. Where you are under the root. Now you are going to, so under the root there is a 360 degrees directory. I want to create another directory. So I directory class 1. So ls directory is created. I want to go to the directory also. class 1 cd. Again, I am creating another directory in the directory mkdir class 2 cd. I am going to again into the class directory your pwd. You are under the root to 360-degree class 1, class 2, class 3. I am creating another class called as a mkdir class 3. Okay, again cd class 3. Yeah, where you are under the root 360 degrees class 1, class 2, class 3. So you are under that directory. I want to go one step back, or else I will tell you. So I want to create a multiple directories in this directory. How you can create it? You can create it mkdir class 5, class 6, class 7. Understood? You created the multiple directories at a time. Yeah. So I want to create a multiple directories. Okay. So I want to create the directories. For example, I want to create a how many weeks in a year. So 52 weeks, right? I want to create a 52 directories in at a time. One command mkdir week hyphen open braces one dot dot. How many weeks we need to create? 52 weeks. You see, guys. So how many weeks create? How many four directories created at a single command? 52 directories created. I want to create a days, 30 days. Day hyphen open braces one dot dot 30. It will create 30 days. You can see day 1, day 2, day 3, 4, day 4, day 5, day 30. Okay. Now you understood, guys. So how you can create the multiple directories, how you can create the number of directories in within one command, you can create it. Understood? Yeah. So where you are under the class 3. You are under the class 3. CD is nothing but a change directory already. Right? So PWD is nothing but a present working directory. Where you are under the class 3. I want to come out one step back. What is the command? cd dot dot. You can come one step back. PWD. So where you are under before you are under the class 3. Before you are under the class 3. Now you are under the class 2. Now you are under class 2. I want to again go back to class 3. Yeah. So PWD where you are class 3. I want to go 2 steps back. cd dot dot slash dot dot. Yeah, you see PWD. So before if you execute the cd dot dot, it will come back to one step. So if you execute cd dot dot slash dot dot, it will come out from 2 steps. Means so class 3 and class 2. Now you are in the class 3. Again, I am going to class 2, class 3, cd dot dot slash dot dot slash dot dot slash dot dot. Yeah, it will come out from that 4 steps back. Okay. CD hyphen. CD hyphen is nothing but to go to at last working directory. So we worked on the last working directory is so like class 3, right? So CD is nothing but to go to the user home directory. If you provide the directory name, it will go to the directory. If you use just the CD command, it will directly go to the home directory where you are under the home. Okay. So I want to create a directory within the class 3 directory without going to the directory. Without going to the directory. What is the command? mkdir hyphen p parent directory. What is that? Where you are under the root. Under the root there is a class 1. Three sixty. Under 360 there is a class 1. Under the class 1 there is a class 2. Class 2 there is a class 3. Yeah, under this class 3, so we want to create a directory called as a Monday. 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 So I don't want to go to this directory directly. I want to where I am in the root directory. I want to create a directory within the directory. You can use the parent directory. Let's see cd CD root 360-degree, class 1, class 2, class. You see, guys, Monday is created or not? You see, Monday is created. Understood? Yeah. So how you can create the file? Now you understood how you can create the directory, how you can go to the directory, right? So pwd ls, how you can list that, right? I want to file text processing tools. Text processing tools is nothing but a how you can read the file, cat file. How you can read, write, modify. We can use the vi. So right, touch is nothing but a create a file without data. Okay, so create a file without data. This is nothing but a file processing tool. Yeah. So how you can check the file, guys? File, how you can read the file by using cat file name. So if you want to read the file name, I think duplicate session. You want to take it the duplicate session route. Not a root user, right, guys? What is the user, guys? The user is, what is the default user, guys? EC2 hyphen user. EC2 hyphen user is the default user. Sudo su. I'm switching the super user. Then cat var log messages. This is the file, guys. You see, this file contains how many pages? Number of pages. Number of pages. I want to see the data. I want to see the content page by page or line by line, or I want to see the first 10 lines. So head is the command. What is that? Head file name. What is the file? Var log messages. So var log messages is nothing but a, yeah. So it will display the, by default, it will display top 10 lines from the given document. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is the top 10 lines will be displayed from the first file. I want to last 10 lines, guys. Last 10 lines, how will tail? It will see the last 10 lines. It will see the head, we can top, tail, we can see the last. So less and more. What is less? What is more? It will display the page by page or line by line. Less, you see, if you enter, it will go line by line. If you press the space bar, you see, it will go to the line by line. Yeah, it's ended. Okay. I want to see more. What is the difference between more and see? It will display the percentage. It will display the percentage. You see 4%, 8%, 9%, 12%, 20%. This is page by page, line by line, 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 line by line. Yes, understood? Head, less, tail. I want to grab the, I want to grab the grab the keyword from this document. Grep hyphen I error. What is that? I'm searching error in the var log messages. This is the file. Okay, it will display the error. So you just ask the capital E, small r or O, but it will display the capital also, small also, because of hyphen I. What is that? Hyphen I is the case sensitive. If you use hyphen I, it will display everything. A small, capital, everything. You see? So you search only capital E and small r, it's showing capital E, small r. Understood? The difference between grep and this. So understood, guys? Yeah. So what is the next command? The next command is copy. I want to copy the file from one location to another location, right? So what we have? We have a Hari touch Hari dot txt. So you created the file, right? The file. You created a, File. What is the copy command? So copy command, copy the file from one location to another location, source and destination. Copy. So what are those? -R is the recursive mode, -V is a verbose, -P is the properties. -re recursive mode. I want to copy this. I want to copy the, what is this, guys? So how much more time is left the class? So 1 o'clock, it will complete 1 o'clock, guys. Okay. Hardly 25 minutes, 20 minutes will close the class. Okay. So copy hari.txt to temp folder. So it will copy to temp folder. Okay. cd or cat /temp hari.txt. Yeah, hari.txt is there. Right. Now I want to copy as a different name. Copy hari.txt to 360.txt. Now you see, so we have a 360.txt, hari.txt. So we can copy the content and create a new name also. Okay. So if you want to copy the directory, so what is the directory? Copy -R 360 degree. 360 degree to, I want to copy it to /opt directory. cd/opt. Just copy the directory. Yes, it copied 360 degree directory. Okay, cd 360. So we have a files class class class. You see list of files and directories. Okay. So for -R, if you want to copy the directory, you can use -R command. Okay. Move command. So what is a move command? So move command is nothing but a, so rename the file, move the file, and hide and unhide the file. For example, what is the file? 360 degree.txt. I want to rename it to 360 degree. 360.txt to 360 or blue jay technologies .txt. So right, I am renaming 360 degree to BlueJ Technologies. Okay. Yeah. So I created a, so rename it to BlueJ Technologies. Again, I want to rename it to, so BlueJ Technologies to 360 degree.txt. Right. It's renamed. It's renamed to 360 degree.txt. Okay. Yeah. So I rename it. I want to move this 360 degree to moving this file from here to /temp. So it will go to the temporary file. You see the 360 degree.txt is available. No, it's moved from one location to another location. So next one is hide and unhide. So what is that? Hari.txt. So if you press the ls, it will see the hari.txt. I want to hide this hari.txt. How you can move hari.txt? So before hari.txt, you can give the dot, so it will hide the file. You see, are you able to see the file? No, so it's in hidden state. How you can see the hidden files? You can use the ls-la command. List of hidden files. Hari.txt is in hidden state. I want to revert back to hide to unhide. I want to unhide this hari.txt dot. So before source, we need to provide the hari.txt and remove the the dot before the destination. Let's see. Yeah, hari.txt. So rename is done, moving is done, and hiding and unhide also done. Okay. So I want to remove the directories. I want to remove the directories and files. Or you can see cd 360 degrees, class 1, class 2, class 3. Okay. I want to remove remove class 5 directory. What is that? Class 5 directory. RM. If you press the RM, we cannot remove. So definitely we can use the recursive. Can use the recursive. Yeah. If you asking, it is asking you want to remove or not. If you press yes, it will remove. If you press N, it will not remove. Okay. Again, so I want to remove without asking my permission. Yes, it will not asking. Okay. And I want to remove everything. I will show you later. I want to remove particular directories rm-rf. So day-star. So whatever the star, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 30. It will delete only day folders. It will not delete the big folders. Let's see. So the day folders is deleted. So the normal rest of them are not deleted. So I want to delete everything. Monday is there, class 7, class 6 is there, week is there. I want to delete everything. Okay. RM-RF star. Star is nothing but everything. What is that? Star is nothing but everything. Guys understood? LS? Yeah. So nothing is there. So removed. It's removed. Nothing is there. It's removed, guys. Understood? CD. Okay. So how you can check the processes? To check the processes, you can use the top. So what are the services are running? What is CPU utilization? What is memory utilization? What is sleeping, zombie, stopped? So you'll see the which process, which service is running. You will check it in the C, guys. We'll check it in the C. So in the last login, who is logged in? So the logged in people will show the last. Okay. And so df-ht. So df-h, it will show the disk information. 20 GB, 8 GB we took, right, for installing the OS. So where is that? So this is the slash. It is used 6 GB. So how much percentage available size used available usage mounted. Guys understood? This is nothing but a disk information. So this is nothing but a disk information. Yeah. How you can install the softwares? Install httpd. You can install by using the install httpd. So -n, it will install the software. So how you can start the web server? Httpd is the web server, right? So systemctl status httpd. Guys, this is the real time. I will show you the real time example. So how you can deploy a website, right? So for example, my website is Apache website. Okay. So I want to start the service systemctl start httpd. Okay. Again, you see, yeah. So the my web server is Apache web server is running. Okay. I want to deploy the code. So where every web server having their own path to deploy our code. Okay. This is the path where www.html ls. So I want to clear. If you want to clear the screen, you can use this clear command. Okay. vi index.html. I'm creating a va index.html. I want to use you already know the HTML code, right, guys? HTML for my show website. Copy link. wget it's not what this is. LM file that this file. Let's see, guys. IP address of my server, public IP, right? I want to take the public IP. Mm, such as EC2 instances. EC2 instances. This is running, right? 360-degree EC2. What is my public IP? This is my public IP address. Yeah, I want to do the security group, guys. Security inbound rule, right? It inbound rule. Security edit inbound rule. Add rule. Custom all traffic. All traffic. Save the rule. Let's check it. Yeah. So it is a Apache web server is installed. So what is that, guys? Colon into save slash index.html. Well, we'll download only this one. Copy link address. Unless RM making information wget. If you want to download anything from the web, you use the wget. Wget is nothing but a command. So webget. So index.html. Yeah, read expect permission. Yeah, you see, guys, this index.html, it will show this page. I'm copying this code. Go back. VA index.html, right? Less ORML from RF index.html, VA index.html. Paste this code. WQ systemctl restart, guys. Whenever you modify the code, right, you need to restart the web server. Systemctl restart httpd. Guys, this is important. You guys can listen carefully. Yeah, you see, guys. So this is the website they installed, right? This is the hey, this is the website we installed it. The same way how we are deploying our websites, how we are deploying your websites looks like the web server. Okay. So what is next? The process commands. I will tell you the process commands. What is secure. I will tell you the networking commands. CD. What is that? So if you want to get the IP address, IPA or IP, yeah, it will get the IP address of the server. Or if config. What is that? If config, it will see the IP address of the server also. Okay. So what is IP? IP is nothing but a, so the IP address it will show. Yeah, I discussed it, right? The next. So what is the command? The command ping, telnet, traceroute, netstat. So netstat command important. So netstat -ntlp. So pipe grep -i, which service the website is running or not. The service is HTTP service is running or not. Yeah, this is service is running, right? So host name. Or you can check the host name, the instance name of this host name. You can execute the host name command. Host name command. So right. Yeah, the command SCP is nothing but you copy from Linux, one Linux server to another Linux server. You can use copy. Copy command is, so we can use for, so within the server. So if you want to copy a file from one server to another server, you can use SCP, secure copy. So in the local, we can use only CP. Okay, CP command. So wget is nothing but so we can download from the network. So call command. Call is nothing but, for example, curl call https :google.com. It will open the web page, right? So this is the, so website is opening or not. Yes, understood? So these are the networking tools, guys. What is that? These are a networking commands. Yes, understood? Yeah. So something like, so we can discuss. So I discussed in the this channel, guys. So in the YouTube channel, you guys can, what this is, yeah, in this channel you guys can watch this. You will get the more clarity, guys. If you want to watch the shorts, you guys get the comments whatever I discussed in here, right? I discussing in this the shorts also. Or if you want to see the full course, you guys can go through the 360 degrees freshers batch. So in this freshers batch I discussed everything in, I think, 13 or 14 hours or 15 hours I discussed here, guys. So if you want to learn all these, you guys can go through this document. Okay. Or else if you want, you guys can, so watch the videos. Learn Linux from scratch. You guys can learn AWS. AWS you guys can watch it. Okay. So it's, Kubernetes, DevOps, if you want to learn more interest on DevOps, or Jenkins or CI/CD, if you want to learn, you guys can go through the videos. Understood, guys? Guys, understood? Guys, speak out, guys.
Yes, sir.
Guys, yeah. So good luck, guys. Hope you are use this knowledge and build your way some solutions. If you have any issues, contact with me on LinkedIn or a mail ID or my YouTube channel, Blue Jay Technologies, guys, or a mobile number 9666721797. So if you guys are having any doubts, please reach out to me, guys. Okay, guys, speak out, guys. Whenever you join a company, every day they will provide a stand-up calls. In the stand-up calls, what you are doing, we need to showcase yourself only. No one will not showcase your work. Guys, please speak out. So communication is more important than work, guys. Okay. I see only one girl is talking on from starting. Who is? So your good name? So who is talking? Emma, Emma or something like, who is guys? Shravani, Saujanya, Swati. So I don't know whoever. Guys, speak out. Speak out. Whenever they are asking any questions, please speak out. And if you know or if you don't know, please speak out, guys. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Guys, if you want, you can reach out this number or a mail. Okay. Or you can watch those in the YouTube channel, that Blue Jay Technologies. Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
All the
Thank
best
you.
for your bright future, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.